Hello, it's Mr. Keeling here. Lovely to see all of you here. How many children have we got? 11 children? Wow, breaking records. Hi guys, it's me, Mr. Keeling. Woo! How are you all? Good to see you. Hi, good morning, Munir. Oh, it's Miraj. Good morning, Liana. Good to see you. Morning. Oh, Mohammed Moody, you're back here as well. I wouldn't know because I wasn't there earlier. Good morning, Shwaib. Oh, it's nice to see you too. Oh, the numbers have dropped down significantly. Oh, we're back on. Hi, it's me, Mr. Keeling. That's all I've got. It's not me, I was joking. It's actually Mr. Jordan. Look. Oh, there he is.
Hello everyone, welcome to the live stream. We're going to give it a minute or two just for people to come online. Mr. Jordan is here for some reason, but I think he's going to leave pretty soon. No, you're not? Okay, good news. We were at 12, we've just dropped down to 9 since I've come on. Back up to 10. Good morning, Rayanne. I look different, yes, I've had a shave. Morning, Azan. How are you? We've got Liana here. Good morning, Liana. Who else is here? Hello, Mr. Jordan and Mr. Keeling. It's Fatima from 2C. Morning, Fatima. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Everyone is welcome. We'll start up in a couple of minutes. Today's lesson is on space. Today, we'll talk a little bit of why we're doing a lesson around space. We'll also have a quick chat at the beginning, just to go over what's going to happen later in the week, because Friday is the last day before the half term. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Mahir. Friday is the last day before half term. So I'm going to do a special live lesson and we'll have a vote at the very end of this lesson. And the vote will be about what the lesson is. So it can be anything. It can be anything on Friday. I don't mind. Doesn't have to be what we've been doing. It can be completely random. It could be about dinosaurs. Could be about robots. Could be about whatever you want the lesson to be around. Pokemon, if you want. We could look at the history of Pokemon. It's up to you. Any ideas, save them right until the very end. Morning, Mrs. Galloway. Good to see you here. Good morning, Mariam. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Another minute for anybody else logging on. I'm just saying at the end of today's lesson, we're going to have a vote for Friday, the holiday special live lesson, which can be about anything you want. So get some good ideas. And at the end of the lesson today, we'll have a little vote. We'll choose a subject and I will teach a lesson around it. Dinosaurs, please. Well, we'll have a vote. We'll have a vote as on and we'll see what people want. But yes, dinosaurs is one idea. Although I believe Mr. Jordan already did. Hi, Mahek, you okay? I believe that Mr. Jordan already did a live lesson on dinosaurs. Did you have a haircut? No, if anything, my hair's getting too long. I'm missing the hairdressers. Hopefully they'll open again soon. It's getting a bit long. No, I've just had a shave. That's why I look a bit different. Had a big beard before. Right, 30 seconds and we'll start off. Anybody coming in later can join in at that point. How are you, Mahek? You good? You're doing fine. That's good to hear, Fatima. Glad to hear it. 9 thumbs up. That's brilliant. I haven't done anything yet. Suits you, sir. That's from an old show. Suits you. Yes. It's Ishal. Hi, Ishal. How are you? It's good to see you here. Good to see you, Ishal. Okay, let's... School bell. Let's get started. Remember, and if you've just tuned in, just to let you know, at the end of this session, I will be taking suggestions for a holiday special live lesson on Friday, which I will plan. It can be about anything you want, from dinosaurs to Pokemon. I don't mind. It's up to you. I know we have 1,000 subscribers. In fact, that's something to just mention. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please subscribe. The numbers fluctuate. They go up to 1,000, then back down. Really, it's helpful so we can use 2 cameras at the same time, more than 1 live stream running, that we have at least 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed, or you know anyone who hasn't subscribed, then please subscribe. Give it a big old thumbs up, that bell icon, and all the other things that YouTubers say. Right, let's get into our lesson now. We've got 22 people here, so let's start. Space today. The reason that we're doing space today, if you are in year 2, if not, if you're in year 3 or beyond, that's fine. It's lovely to have you here as well. Can we have a live stream with the whole of Anglesey? I think that many teachers together might be breaking some COVID rules. So I don't think we could do all of the teachers together. But Mr. Singh, I know, is doing a live stream today as well, so you can tune in to see that. In year 2, we've been looking at the first moon landing. Now, in the 24-hour live session, which, just so you know, raised £5,500, me and Mr. Jordan are looking at buying tablets now. It looks like we can get about 60 tablets to help out. But if you watch the live lesson, there's a section that I do in there all about space. But that is about space in the past. I talk about the moon landing, and there's some facts about space. In year 2 at the moment, we are writing a chronological report. And the chronological report is all around the first moon landing. Yes, I've had enough too. I want people to be back in school. I'm looking forward to actually having a class full of children. Sorry I'm late, don't worry, you're not, we're just starting. So, we're looking at the first moon landing, and we're doing a chronological report. If you haven't done that yet, year 2, please go onto the literacy page and start writing your report on the first moon landing. There's a couple of videos there that you can watch. There's no worksheets because it's all drafted on paper or on Word, but give it a go. Today's session is about space now, space today. What is happening in space, and over the last few years, what has happened in space. This is going to form our final paragraph. And at the end of the session, just before we have our vote, we're going to look at drafting the final paragraph. Now, I'm going to be giving you lots and lots of information about space today. There are bits that I'm going to ask you questions, but for the most part, what you need to be doing through this live lesson is you need to be taking notes. You need to be taking notes about all the facts that I give you about space. There's going to be a lot. You don't have to record everything, but the most interesting facts you are going to use in your space today paragraph. So I'm going to give you 30 seconds, children, 30 seconds. And in those 30 seconds, I want you to either open a Word document, get a pen, a pencil, a piece of paper, whatever you wish, go and get that now, okay? 30 seconds. Any seconds, going to start up. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Make sure you've got a document open. 5, 4, 3, or a pen and paper will do. 2, and 1. Okay, good. Right, let's get started then. So, space travel today and space today. We're going to start off with the International Space Station. We're going to talk a little bit about the International Space Station. So, my first question, does anybody know what the Hi, Rusty. Does anybody know what the International Space Station is? Write it in the chat now, please. Anything you know about the International Space Station. Just write it into the chat. Let's see what we've got. Anything at all? It's all right if you don't know anything about the space station. You will do in a few minutes. Uniform, no. Okay, that's fine. Let's have a little chat about the space station then instead. Okay, so the International Space Station. The International Space Station is basically a big satellite that is orbiting around the Earth. Now, I just said a lot of words there. Satellite, something in space. Orbiting. Orbiting is interesting. Orbiting means that it is going around and around and around the Earth. So up in space right now with people on it, there are people in space right now on the International Space Station. It is going around the Earth, around and around and around, and it's traveling very, very fast. In fact, it circles the whole world. It goes right around the whole world 16 times. 16 times. That is 16 days and 16 nights in one 24-hour. So if you're on the International Space Station, which we'll have a look at a little bit more and see what it is, but if you're on the International Space Station, you have 16 daytimes and 16 night times every single day because it's traveling around the world. Now let's have a little chat about orbit. I'm going to move you over here just so we can have a little look at what orbiting actually means. Bring my microphone with me. So, space. That's our Earth. My art isn't quite as good as Mr. Jordan's art. I do apologise. Earth is just a circle. And the International Space Station is in orbit. So it's actually up here in space. It's in space. And what it does, it goes all the way around the Earth. Now it is traveling in a straight direction. It's not traveling round. A lot of people think that the International Space Station is traveling around the Earth. That's not what's happening. What is happening is that it is traveling in a straight line. It is trying to travel in a straight line. There's a problem though. It can't travel in a straight line. If it traveled in a straight line, it would go off into space and it would keep going and keep going and keep going. But something keeps it in orbit. Something keeps that next to the Earth. Can anybody have a guess what keeps the satellite, the International Space Station, what keeps it next to the Earth? Write in the chat, what do you think? What do you think? Absolutely. Well done, well done, well done. Two correct answers there. Gravity. What gravity does, it pulls that towards the Earth. So even though that's trying to move off to the side and it's traveling off to the side, the Earth is pulling it down. And so the satellite, the International Space Station, is actually falling towards the Earth. But because it's traveling sideways, the gravity pulls it down and that it bends the straight line. So instead of going off in a straight line, it bends. It's still trying to travel off to the side, but it bends because of the gravity. And the gravity keeps pulling it, and it keeps bending and bending and bending and bending and bending until it gets right back to where it started, traveling around the world. And that is what being in orbit is. It's not completely falling to the earth, but it's traveling around, constantly gripped by Earth's gravity. Fantastic. Well done for getting that. That is really good. Okay, let's go back to the board over here. Let's talk more specifically about the International Space Station. So, scientists that want to conduct experiments in space, they go to the International Space Station. They can live up there. They can live up there for a long time. In fact, we'll find out what the longest time spent on a satellite is a little bit later. There is no gravity. There is no gravity. We haven't created artificial gravity yet. So when you're in space, you float around. That is it. Unless you're on the moon or you're on something else with gravity, you just float around. There is no gravity in space. And there is no gravity or very little gravity on the International Space Station, except for the force pulling it back to Earth. That means that when scientists go to the International Space Station, they just fly around. They're flying around. And that makes things quite difficult. Things like, I don't know, drinking water. Drinking water is very different without gravity. And I'm going to show you a video of an astronaut. This person is actually on the International Space Station up above our Earth. And he's going to show you how he drinks water. Let's have a look.
Is about the behavior of water in microgravity without these cups that I showed you. This is going to be Hunter's taking care of me, so I would say full energy during broadcasting. This orange was brought to us by Congress. Anyway, we have these water bags aboard the station. I'm hooking it up to the dispenser. You can probably hear it working now. The bag is expanding. That's it. We got ourselves a full bag of clean, potable water. I'm closing the tap. And now I can drink this water. Actually, it's not water. There's a hint of lemon. Lemonade. I put it in a straw and open it. You can see that it's not leaking. No water gets through it. It's a very convenient thing. And I can drink from it just like this. I open the valve and you can see how everything went flying. Small droplets of water. You have to be really careful with water in weightlessness, especially when you wash yourself. For example, after working out, because it starts flying all over the place, as you just saw. So, this droplet become a perfect sphere once it settles down. And it has air bubbles inside. I will even get out of the picture so you can see it in a close shot. And now allow me to actually drink this thing. You know, lecturers usually have a glass of water in front of them. And I have a dry mouth as I feel nervous speaking in front of such an honorable audience. So, I'll take the liberty of drinking this.
Even drinking water in space has to be planned for on the International Space Station. You can't just have a bottle of water, because if you had a bottle of water, the water would flow. It would go out of the bottle and it would get in all of the instruments and it would damage the equipment. As you saw there, just a small amount of water, or lemonade I think he had, forms a perfect sphere, say it correctly, sir, forms a perfect sphere and floats in space. And water takes on a sphere shape. So do all liquids in space. They take on a natural sphere or spherical shape when they are in space. So they had to plan that. They had to plan to have a machine that they could fit a special bottle to that would put the water in so that they could drink it through a straw, because if the water gets out, it would be very, very dangerous. Okay. I want you to think then, if it's that hard just to drink water, in space on the International Space Station. What else do you think might be hard to do in space? To drink water. What everyday tasks, things that you do all the time on Earth, because there's gravity, it's easy. What do you think might be quite difficult to do in space? Let's have some ideas. That's inside the International Space Station. We'll have a look more inside it later. But that is up there right now. You can go. Yeah, it would be very hard to walk on the International Space Station. In fact, people don't walk, they float around. They have to kind of pull themselves along. So it would be really hard to walk. There is a treadmill. There's a treadmill on the International Space Station. And that's because without the gravity, the muscles in your legs become weaker. So the astronauts have to strap themselves in to a treadmill, and they have to walk on the treadmill to make sure that their muscles don't fade. Sleeping, yeah, sleeping is hard on the International Space Station. They have to wear seatbelts. Can you imagine that? They have to strap themselves in. And there's no real up or down without gravity. There's no up or down. You're just floating all over the place. So they have to strap themselves in to sleep like that, so they don't go floating off. Yeah, brushing your teeth. You can't put it on the brush because it would just float away, wouldn't it? You'd have to try and grab it and try and brush it all around. Having a shower, yeah, all the water would just fly out of the shower. Eating food, yeah. Even things like going to the toilet. Going to the toilet is hard. You have to seat belt yourself into the toilet. Wear a seat belt on the toilet. Wear a seat belt going to bed. What else do you think might be hard? What else might be hard? Yeah, sitting down. Yeah, sitting down will be hard because every time you try, you just float off, wouldn't you? Anything else? Eating, yeah, your food would float away. Anything else? What else might be difficult? Everything, grabbing something, sitting, sleeping, all of it, yeah. They have to specially plan for all of these things to exist and to live. Can you hear me now? Hello, can you hear me? Just say yes if you can hear me. Is everyone hearing me okay? Hello, hello? Yes, yes, good. Okay. So yeah, it's so difficult to do everyday tasks on the space station, and they have to plan for everything from drinking water to going to sleep to walking to working on your muscles and staying fit and even going to the toilet. Right, let's carry on looking. On this next slide, I've got some pictures of the International Space Station. So let's have a little look at it. This one isn't very clear, but as you can see, this is what I was talking about before. This is an astronaut who's on the International Space Station. As you can see, there's lots of different equipment, lots of wires everywhere, but he's strapped himself into a treadmill, and he's currently working out. So as I say, the muscles get weaker because of lack of gravity. So there is the treadmill on the International Space Station. Let's have another look at something else. This is a picture of the International Space Station. Try and make it a bit bigger. There, that is a picture of the International Space Station. What you can see there, these really big panels, these ones here, these over here, and the little ones at the back. They're all solar powered. So they get their energy from the sun. Lots of sunlight up there because there's no clouds. There are no clouds blocking the sunlight. So they get a lot of sun's energy. Can't hear. On that side, we can't hear you. I'll try